Good day, music lovers. Today we'll be talking about my Arctic Monkeys album ranking. This is all highly subjective. Case in point, I put AM in last place. If you think my list is incorrect, you are allowed your opinion. Let's begin. Number 7. AM. Most people would put AM at the top 3 of their Arctic Monkeys album rankings. But I've just heard this record so many times. When I listen to it, I don't discover anything new. All lists have a last spot. For this one, it'll be AM. Coming off the heels of Suck It and See's lukewarm reception, the band, as they always do, made a sonic departure from their previous work. This time, they incorporated hip-hop and R&B elements into their sound. To achieve this, they recorded drums and bass, first to establish a solid groove for each song. This lends to a slightly slower tempo than previous outings, adding to the seductive tone of the record. The production is sparse, with the guitars and other instruments serving as support for the aforementioned drum and bass. As a result, AM is Arctic Monkeys' most stripped-back record to date. There's a clarity to these notes, accentuated by the reverb on guitar in songs like One for the Road. It sounds as if the band had just gotten off their motorbikes and are playing a gig in a warehouse. There's something to be said about simplicity. Arctic Monkeys have always had a penchant for experimentation, be it sonically or in song structure. Here, it's just them, their instruments, and solid tunes. Here, they let the songs do the singing, and it turned them from indie darlings to global rock icons.
In my mind, when she's not right there beside me, I go crazy, 'cause here isn't where I wanna be.
Number 6. Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino. Arctic Monkeys Go to Space. Named after the site on the moon where humans landed in July 1969, it certainly sounds otherworldly. Set in a lunar resort, the album is characterized by its retro-futuristic French pop 60s film soundtrack aesthetic. Fans of Humbug will find a lot to love here. Arctic Monkeys once again turned the strange dial up to 11 on this one. The success that AM brought has afforded them the luxury to follow their more eccentric impulses. Guitars of previous records are replaced by vintage synthesizers, organs, pianos, harpsichords, and the dolceola. This was informed by Alex Turner composing much of the material on an upright piano, as he felt the guitar had lost its ability to give him ideas. Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino ushered in Arctic Monkeys' lounge era, which continues with their next album, The Car. This phase finds the band in a contemplative mood, favoring solemn tones over bombast. But if their discography has told us anything, it's that they never stay in one place for too long. Who knows where these Sheffield boys will take us next?
I fantasize, I call it quits. I swim with the economists.
Number 5. Suck It and See. Suck It and See represents a 180 from the darker sound of their previous album, Humbug. Drummer Matt Helders described the album as the sound of a band drawing back the curtains and letting the sunshine in. The reverb-drenched guitars of the Hellcat-spangled Sha-La-La-La evoke images of Californian palm trees seen through aviator sunglasses. Meanwhile, the intro guitar to She's Thunderstorms sounds like something from a Bollywood film, which later transitions into a pop-rock verse. There are still hints of their previous sound found elsewhere on the album. Library Pictures echoes Humbug's frantic bass lines, and Don't Sit Down, 'Cause I've Moved Your Chair recalls that album's James Bond-esque grooves. With this album, the band embraced a more traditional approach to recording, favoring live takes over digital editing. Producer James Ford emphasized the importance of capturing performances in a live setting to maintain energy and authenticity. This gives the album a vintage sound, a fitting addition to any vinyl collection. In a discography filled with era-defining records next to whiplash-inducing stylistic shifts, Suck It and See seems tame in comparison. There are good songs here, but none of them seem to make it to the set list these days. Number 4. The Car. Look at that album cover! Like something out of an isometric RPG about an 80s cop. The Car showcases yet another departure from the band's previous sound, embracing orchestral arrangements and lounge-inspired elements. A track like There'd Better Be a Mirror Ball features lush strings and hazy piano voicings reminiscent of 70s vinyl records. Despite the more cinematic sound, guitar elements are still present, albeit in a more subdued manner. Turner mentioned that the excitement of being together with the band led to the resurgence of guitar sounds, such as the distorted guitar outro in Body Paint. This is Arctic Monkeys' most autobiographical album to date. Alex Turner talks about how the audience views the band, given their constant changes in sound. In Big Ideas, Turner reflects on the band's evolution and the pressures of public expectation. Meanwhile, Sculptures of Anything Goes delves into the disorienting aspects of fame, with Turner describing scenes of foreign television performances and stark hallways. This is an album where Arctic Monkeys tackle the idea of fame and their place in the current musical landscape. It's them breaking the fourth wall and talking to us, the listeners, about how weird this album must sound to fans of their previous work. The perfect soundtrack to a long-lost biopic, if ever they made one.
So do you wanna walk me to the car? I'm sure to have a heavy heart.
Number 3, Favorite Worst Nightmare. Building upon the success of their debut, Arctic Monkeys sought to refine their sound while maintaining the raw energy that characterized their early work. The album's production introduced a more polished approach, incorporating elements of surf rock and post-punk revival. Tracks like Brian Storm exemplify this shift, featuring aggressive guitar riffs and rapid-fire drumming that set the tone for the album's energetic vibe. Meanwhile, the atmospheric 505 features an organ, reminiscent of Ennio Morricone's film scores. In an interview with NME, Alex Turner discussed the shift in his songwriting, noting a move from youthful observations to more introspective and emotionally complex themes. He mentioned that while he hadn't experienced significant heartbreak, his lyrics began to explore more adult themes. Following the immense success of their debut, the band faced the challenge of avoiding the infamous sophomore slump. They responded by crafting a record that was both more complex and more immediate. A sonic shift that would signal greater experimentation on subsequent albums. Number 2, Humbug, a James Bond OST on mushrooms. Arctic Monkeys' Humbug marked a significant sonic departure from their earlier work, embracing a darker, more atmospheric sound. This transformation was largely influenced by producer Josh Homme of Queens of the Stone Age. Under Homme's guidance, the band adopted a more expansive sound, compared to the frenetic energy of their previous albums. The guitars on Humbug feature a desert rock sound, contributing to the album's darker atmosphere. Tracks like Crying Lightning showcase overdriven bass lines, while Cornerstone presents a more subdued, dreamy quality. The thick Sheffield accent Alex Turner had on previous albums had all but disappeared by this point. His vocal delivery on Humbug is characterized by a deeper tone, reflecting the album's introspective themes. Moving away from the observational, slice-of-life realism of the first two albums, Humbug dives into more surreal territory, shaped by influences like Nick Cave, David Bowie, and Josh Homme. For instance, in Pretty Visitors, he describes a tramp with a trampoline under his arm, showcasing his knack for wordplay and truly evocative scenery. Upon its release, Humbug received mixed reactions from fans and critics. Some listeners were initially taken aback by the album's slower pace and darker tone compared to the band's earlier work. However, many came to appreciate it over time.
Your pastimes consisted of the strange and twisted and deranged, and I love that little game you had called.
Number 1. Whatever People Say I Am, That's What I'm Not. Arctic Monkeys' debut, Where It All Started, an album celebrated for its raw, energetic sound and vivid portrayal of British youth culture. With their first outing, the band aimed to capture the energy of their live performances. Most of the album was recorded live at Chapel Studios in Lincolnshire with producer Jim Abbas. This approach preserved the rawness and immediacy of their sound, allowing the instruments to interact organically. Alex Turner's distinctive Sheffield accent and rapid-fire delivery became trademarks of the band's early style. His vocals, delivered in a manner that's half sung and half shouted, added to the album's raw energy. Tracks like I Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor captured the excitement and spontaneity of youth, while Marty Bum showcased a more introspective side. The blend of energetic rock with observational lyrics struck a chord with a wide audience, propelling the album to commercial success, as it became the fastest-selling debut in British history at the time, selling over 360,000 copies in its first week. Soon, they'd be playing stadiums and the opening ceremony of the London 2012 Summer Olympics. For now, they were 4 teens singing about going to the bar that weekend. For such a young band, they already showed promise. There were talks that they were going to be the next big thing. To this, Alex Turner said it best: "Don't believe the hype.